you expect to get your cornbread made? Never get that cornbread made when you're sleeping in the noontime shade. Potatoes need spraying, I bet you keep praying, birds fall off the vine. And when you go fishing, I bet you keep wishing those fish don't jump on your line. Lazy bones, floating through the day, how you expect to make your dime that way? Never make a dime that way, but you never hear a word I say. Potatoes need spraying, bet you keep praying, birds fall off the vine. And when you go fishing, I bet you keep wishing fish don't jump on your line. Lazy bones, floating through the day, how you expect to make a dime that way? Never make a dime that way, 'cause you never hear the word, you're giving me the bird, never hear the word I say. There you go. Singing the same old song, no every crack in his dirty sidewalks of Broadway. Hustle's the name of the game, nice guys get washed away like snow in the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon. I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, offers coming over the phone. Well, I really don't mind the rain, smiles can hide all the pain. Get down when you're riding the train, taking a long road. And I dream of the things I do, with the subway token, dollar tucked inside my shoe. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon. I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, offers coming over the phone. Well, I really don't mind the rain, smiles can hide all the pain. Get down when you're riding the train, taking a long road. And I dream of those things I do, with a subway token, dollar tucked inside my shoe. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon. I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, offers coming over the phone.
Sorry about this, I'm wasting time now. I wrote this poem, it's called Bluebell Memory. Danced into nature's tune, moving their pale lilac heads, likened to a tingling of a bell. The heavy scented aroma invites you and entices you to possess. I kneel down, pull the sticky stems out of Mother Earth. They slide into my hands, bunches of them, lay like a baby across my arms. Their pretty heads tickle my downy hair. I hurry home with my gift of plenty to give to my mam. She will put them in a jam jar that has been idle since blackberry picking in the autumn. I sniff the jar. The sweet fruity scent still lingers. Now green stems stand with their purple heads drooping in their sadness, for they have been taken from their habitats and put into mine. Only woman, I followed you when time was young, before night became day, when the stars were still in a far-flung place. Travelled over seas, forests, mountains. Your footstep my guide, shadowed your back and walked by your side. You were me and I was you. Mother and child, I doted on you. Protection you gave when I was scared and afraid. In our childlike way, we played sister and brother. I sat at your knee of knowledge. You became my teacher and sage. I ran from you in innocence and blushes. Destiny caught us, for we to be lovers. In wonderment, I looked into your eyes. You took me on a journey through the madness of your heart, with touches, caresses, kisses, entangled fingers, entwined bodies. You brought me back on a rainbow as I danced to the tune of you and your gypsy soul. Then time grew old. I entered the labyrinth of heartache and disappointments. Flowers of my innocence stunted before they bloomed. Paths they bear for all to see, the entangled ivy of jealousy. The scented fragrance that I mistook for love turned out to be the apple tree of lust. As I tenderly tread carefully on the moss of my soul, I wait for fruitful abundance to make me whole, to give me strength to seek the key, to unlock you from the secret garden inside of me. Thank you.
Show me the man who, taught to fish, learns then to cook or wash a dish. The more well-groomed and sharply suited, the more with filth the mind polluted. For wounds not healed by time or nature, one should look to literature. To always others please is a curable disease. The aim of any business school is to teach the swindler of the fool. Anyone who in fur does dress makes public private ugliness. What sets us over vermin is at times hard to determine. Should usefulness to mankind ever dictate hierarchy, our royals would be the plumber and the sparky. Lonely the one who's never pandered to another's double standard. I've never seen a girl as pretty as a book of poetry. That rich down to rich can be secured, poor down to poor must be insured. Foster gentle empathy and run your fist through apathy. Despite love's leading role in dramas of the heart, imagination plays the greater part. To be perfectly sane is bad for the brain. Life bless us with your finest things, a voice, a heart, and heat-proof wings. Happy anniversary. Wear out the grass above my bones, the paintwork on my shed, and over boathouse tea and scones, pretend to be well read. Wear out the entrance to my bar, the stool they say is mine, and over ale as dark as tar, misquote your favourite line. Wear out the paving on my street, the latch on my front gate, and over one another beat a path to where I wait. Wear out the carpets of my home, the varnish on my stair, and over latte topped with foam, insist you felt me there.
Spell, as if under some spell, alone in a world so foreign, like being in a rabbit warren, I sit and and I think, I wish I had a kitchen sink. The simple things in life could help me with my strife. Family and friends are all I need till my world ends. The love of a mother, child or wife would really help me through my life. The things I have lost, and all for what cost. I was a good man, but I never had a plan. I suffered such pain and guilt, it led me to full tilt. The knock on the door, my life hits the floor. My life is in tatters while my loved ones' lives are in shatters. I am sorry for my crime, but I am doing my time in a prison cell, as if under some spell. The lost boy. For the little boy I lost, my life became the cost. My head was such a mess, now my life is worth much less. For a mother's love unfelt, my heart did not ever melt. The loss of my children dear is what I now most fear. If only I'd faced my issues, I wouldn't now need the tissues. For the little boy now found, my future life can be profound.
Seasons of the year. The last time I read summer, and then autumn, and this next one is about the winter on Mynydd y Gwair, and then spring. Winter one is called Brenin Mynydd y Gwair, which means the king of the grass mountain. And you can guess who the king is, it's a raven. Chilled winds sweep across this high ridge, cold hooves snap frost-brittle marsh reeds. Silence deepens further numbing, steeper, damper clouds are climbing. A courtship of ravens whirling, eating early cold lamb carrion. Black feather hoods lustre sheened, beyond the curlew's lusty sound. Kings of crows, these ravens enthrone, this peaked grim grey pennant sandstone. Following our long drudged steep steps, this is their time of year for feasts. For millennia they've scavenged here, picking the shepherd's loss they fare. Sleet may keenly hone the rough scrawn, corbies' necks pecking flesh off bone. Feral ewes hobble way ahead, limping, bleating, barefoot rotted. Descendants of coarse fleeced, war flock, denied Normans shrouds at Garngoch. Bare-beamed, broken-backed barns below, old winter treasure troves in snow. Slate shelters for jackdaws nestling. Who cares, who dares, whose feather wins? Well, we'll come to the end of this sequence now with something about spring on the mountain. This is called O'r Hendra i'r Hafod, which means from the winter quarters to the summer quarters for the sheep flocks that get turned out in spring. Whistles guide the wily sheepdogs as flocks tumble out springing by, thin-budded, budding hawthorned old hedges to return to graze stoned out by. They are leaving Hendra for Hafod in long lines of generations, freshly shorn, fleece-marked in blue woad, and lambs no years cut with bloodstains. Paws bunched by the last mounting gate, a tangle of bale cord to cut, and away they soar into light. Old ewes lose their lambs and fret. Mats of tufted, gnarled, wiry grass nestle long tussocks of sharp sedge. Waterberry, sphagnum, peat moss, hill food, and drink a mosaic graze. Hredin, the Viking bracken bed, will harbour the sheep scab tick pest. Fern disturbed, steep-sided, dry sward creates hides for ground nesting birds. Curlew, skylark, lapwing, shroom sing, feasts of bilberry myrtillus. The Hafods loom in, fair they bring, as collies bask, long-tongued, joyous.
Yourself, and a little bit of poetic license. So this poem, I wrote about me, but there is poetic license in there as well. And I'm not telling you which bits are true and which bits are poetic license. This is called an awkward age. 51 is a dangerous age. I want to try surfing or go on the stage. Take all my clothes off and dance in a cage. Yes, 51 is a dangerous age. Go out with my girlfriends, come home at 3, meet all my heroes, invite them to tea. Attend a rock festival, camp in a field, Eat lots of grapes, a young man has just peeled. Climb up a mountain, it's my last chance. Fly down to Brazil for a wild samba dance. Become a painter and suffer for art. Write tragic poetry, this one's a good start. I could run a half marathon for charity. Only thing is, I have an arthritic knee. Party all night and then watch the sunrise. Order a burger with lashings of fries. Catch up on music I've somehow missed by being a housewife and bringing up kids. Get down and dirty on the dance floor? Probably not, I'd be shown the door. Go to a concert, scream loud at the band, then to a barbecue down on the sand. Experience life, not sit and read books. Hitch out to Israel, live on a kibbutz. I'll start off a protest and burn my bra. Okay, that's going a little too far. Laugh loud in public at corny old jokes. Attract the attention of nice-looking blokes. I've always wanted an artistic tattoo and maybe a body piercing or two. Draw my hair long and have it dyed pink. Who on earth cares what others may think? When in my 20s I was far too obsessed with opinions of others and the size of my chest. The 30s decade whizzed by in a blink, working and children tied to the sink. 40s and at last a switch had been hit. I decided I'd take no more of life's rubbish. Now in my 50s, self-belief's at my core. If only I'd managed these thoughts years ago. So now no one has stopped me, get out of my way. I'm loving my life more than I can say. So what if my children think I'm mad? Their opinions don't matter, in fact they're quite sad. I'll have to close now, I'm off to a rave in ridiculous heels because they're all the rage. All life is for living, once said a wise sage. And 51 is a fabulous age. I'm taking a chance tonight. There is truth in this and there is poetic license. My husband sat over there, so gotta be careful. This is called A Liaison with the Gas Man. A gas man came a-calling one wet and windy day. He looked so cold and windswept, I said, come in, straight away. It was a Monday morning when the gas man came to call. He asked if I'd been waiting long. I said, no, not at all. The gas man that came a-calling had a fearful thirst, but he refused my tea and coffee, said he'd check my valves out first. When the gas man came a-calling, he asked if he could take a peek. I thought, yeah, I've heard that one before. He said, no, I meant your leak. So I led him to the bedroom where the offending pipe was based. He had a giant toolbox and a big smile upon his face. He said my valve was faulty and put it down to age. Your system's ancient and decrepit and going through a troubled stage. Do you always treat it gently or twiddle with the valves? I'll replace this with another and rub on a little salve. Your main problem's with the boiler. An upgrade's just the job. I can fit it in a jiffy. It has nice big shiny knobs. I felt shocked and shaken and a little lost. A new boiler sounded lovely. But what would be the cost? He told me not to worry. Said it was covered in my plan. And could be fitted without money. I thought, what a lovely man. He spent hours in my bedroom. At last he gave a shout. So I finally relented and locked the door and let him out. I waved cheerfully at him as he walked up to his van. Ladies, if you've a bedroom problem, I know the very man.
And the others, a more difficult poem. Today I'll paint a day. Today I'll paint a day as beautiful as ever been. Today I'll paint a day like you've never seen. I know the colour of its morning, its silver moon and shining sun, soft greys, cool with shadows from night's long run. The day I see has you walking on a sunlit shore. The day I see has me holding hands like before. I know the day in my mind, touched by your tender grace, will guide my simple hand to paint your living face. Colour my day will be cheerful, free from shades of strife.
The colour of my day will be wonderful, straight from summer's life. All our days together live in my memory still. Those are the thoughts I'll use to paint the fields and the hills and kilns. More difficult one. I don't know if I understand myself. Life's profligacy. 10 billion people crave Earth's old cake. Save 1 crumb for me, says each to each. 1 crumb for each. In virtue, all that heard did just that. To die as starved thoughts will teach. There's a better way, you know. Search and you will find. Not for me, wise or not, to lead the virtuous blind. I know the road, know it well. You could ask, and I could tell. At first, a purpose you must find. Before in love, I'd be that kind. Don't despair, the way is there for those that dare to care. Life is profligate, that's its way. Wastes much to make the living day. To create a future with its guiding ray. Thank you. Never felt more like singing the blues, for I never thought that I'd ever lose your love. Dear whistle, you got me singing the blues. I never felt more like running away, but where would I go for? I couldn't stay without you. Why'd you leave me this way? Moon and stars no longer shine. The dream has gone, I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. I never felt more like crying all night, for everything's wrong and nothing ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. The dream has gone, I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like crying all night, for everything's wrong and nothing ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. Got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues. Yeah. When I get older, losing my head, don't say anything. 30 years from now, will you still be sending me a valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I'd been out to 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Say the word, could stay with you. I could be handy man in a fuse when your lights are gone. You can knit a sweater by the fireside. Sunday mornings go for a ride through in the garden, digging the weeds. Who could ask for more? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 61? Every summer we could rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight. If it's not too dear, we shall scrimp and save. Grandchildren on your knee, Vera, Chuck and Anne. Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of view. Indicate precisely what you mean to say. You're sincerely wasting away. Give me your answer, fill in a form, mine forevermore. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
All good, good, yeah. So this is coming out this year, in April I think, basically, isn't it? Yeah.
We got this year.
It's a really good book.
And send it for the
Yeah, all right, good. So I'll just read this short poem from it. It's also the anniversary of the start of the First World War. So he's got a poem in here for a relative of his. I already read this one earlier on. It looks like a sonnet actually. It's called Lance Corporal Arthur Edwards, 1900 to 1916, one of his distant relatives. You took the river Ebu to the Somme in your canteen and never brought it back. But it's still there. Each time I look out my window, I picture you there, holding the bottle under to catch the water which proved you'd make it home. Mid-river, stooping, shorter than your shadow, your Sunday trousers are rolled up to your knees, so your man won't kill you. A 16-year-old flamingo. Now your face is blown up above our mantelpiece. You're prey to the latest image manipulation. Your eyes are horror movies. Your eyes are gauze. You're close to the portrait of your elder brother, as he was to you when the blast hit. You look like each other. His painted face is a sorry imitation.
The opening lines are, I was 21 years when I wrote this song, not 61, 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. So when I sing this, I don't want you to put me off and look sceptical, okay? It's Paul Simon's words, and even he must be getting on a bit by now. I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. Time hurries on, and the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. Once my heart was filled with the love of a girl. I held her close, but she faded in the night. like a poem I meant to write, and the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. I threw a pebble in the brook and watched the ripples run away, and they never made a sound, and the leaves that are green turn to brown, and wither with the wind and crumble in your hand. Hello, 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 hello. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. That's all there is. And the leaves that are green turn to brown, and wither with the wind and crumble in your hand. I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. Time hurries on, and the leaves that are green turn to brown. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag, so we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Partner pies, and walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said, as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh, Michigan seems like a dream to me now. Took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Tossed me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery, she read a magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. Oh, they've all come to look for America. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together.
Moon and stars, Cupid, arrows, travels far. O Delphi, can I ride on your back to cross the ocean wide and vast? Hitch your lift on Freya's dragonfly, or on Aphrodite's love reach to the sky. Then upon him may I ride your horse to lay our arms and cross our path. Harp, string, ladder lead the way, intertwined Celtic strands, parted by such distant lands. Psyche and Cupid's trials endured, an Atlantic Ocean that's easily cured. The first one. And this one, you wouldn't guess why I wrote this. It's called Oh Mushroom. Behold the mighty mushroom, neither plant nor animal, growing wild in our woodland, decorating the statues of brand. Now, many folks walking by them give neither a glance, never mind stop and stare. They are a wonder of nature. Without them, ecosystems beware. They grow in many colours, textures, patterns and styles. They are just as beautiful as wildflowers that people stop to admire. They have many magical properties, are often mentioned in myth and tale. Our ancestors regarded them highly. They were often used in cure a spell. We have disregarded the mighty mushroom. Knowledge was rarely passed down, but now they are under the spotlight for ridding cancerous frowns. They taste rather delicious when harvested from woodland floor, boosting our immune system, a medicine that I adore. So if you wish to pass by that mushroom, disregard its wondrous form. Please continue to do so, for then, for me, there's all the more.
It's a little book by Jenna King, and she's past winner, and now she's representing Wales, going around, this country anyway. I don't know what she's exactly doing, but something to do with poetry anyway, forwarding poetry. Anyway, I just opened the page and there was a little poem about coal, and this week is the miners' strike anniversary. But it's just her thoughts on just coal. And the coal was thick money, squatting under mountains, tightening in knotted walls, and racing through dwarf earth under the feet of reasonable men. Or the science of spooning it out, dragon black, extract it, sleight of hand, the tablecloth at quick speed, crockery still standing, earth still standing, conjurer, miner, the physics. That's the first poem by Jenna. And in contrast, this one, Gemma's from Aberystwyth, and I just can see her up in I imagine she lives in the woods, because her book is called The Shape of the Forest. Anyway, sorry, skip right to it. Yeah, this is it. The morning advancing. I settled like a baby on the knees of dawn. The new day throwing out dilations of purple and prussic strips of cloud. Buzzards screeched above. I fell back asleep. Boring through full air, drilling weight away and time. Outside, the six-leaved stars retreated. The boxed up sun, shut up till now, expanded. Thank you.